Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. The storm hitting multiple states, cars and trucks going off highways, and this is all moving east. Also tonight, police swarm CIA headquarters, the man with a gun. First tonight, whiteout conditions, strong winds and fires across multiple states. Blinding snow causing accidents on major highways. Winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. And the system moving into the northeast. Lee Goldberg standing by with the forecast. Also tonight, police surrounding CIA headquarters, SWAT teams responding. Police say a man with a gun, the standoff lasting several hours. Pierre Thomas and what he's learned at this hour. Tonight, President Trump and the call with President Zelensky. What Zelensky has now agreed to. And President Trump today with an unexpected offer to Zelensky. James Longman in the region tonight. Tonight, the Defense Department igniting a firestorm after pulling a web page dedicated to baseball icon Jackie Robinson. Why was the page taken down, and what's happened now? Tonight, the JFK assassination files released. More than 60,000 documents shedding light on surveillance and on what some in the Kennedy administration felt about the CIA. Tonight, Matt Gutman one-on-one with the new Los Angeles DA. What the DA says Lyle and Eric Menendez must do to secure any chance at freedom. Overseas tonight, Israel launching a major offensive in Gaza. What does this mean for the hostages still being held by Hamas, including an American? 24 hours after the splashdown you saw live right here on ABC. Tonight, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, the first full day back, adjusting to gravity, what they went through today. And so many tonight talking about the Dolphins who welcomed them home. And amid his deeply personal battle, Bruce Willis turning 70 today. Tonight here you'll see the video, the dancing, the moments with his family, marking the milestone.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here at a very busy Wednesday night. And we begin tonight with this major winter storm on this, the last day of winter. 75 million Americans on alert at this hour for dangerous winds, possible tornadoes, and blizzard conditions. The Midwest gets hit tonight, moving into the Northeast tomorrow. At this hour, tornado watches in effect from Indiana to Kentucky. Dark clouds gathering in Mackinac, Illinois, south of Peoria. Near Monument, Colorado, south of Denver, the storm causing accidents, traffic coming to a halt. Powerful winds kicking up a dust storm in New Mexico, blinding drivers, causing a fiery collision on I-40 east of Albuquerque. Tractor trailers and campers overturned by the winds on Interstate 25 in Colorado. And to the north tonight, the system bringing extreme blizzard and whiteout conditions. This is near Lincoln, Nebraska. Tractor trailers jackknifing on I-80, 166 miles of that interstate closed down for a time. Meteorologist Lee Goldberg tracking the storm for us tonight into the Midwest and the Northeast, and ABC's Maria Villarreal in the storm zone leading us off.
Tonight, blizzard conditions on the last night of winter. Cars and tractor trailers littering multiple highways around Lincoln, Nebraska, including Interstate 80. Winds gusting to 70 miles an hour, bending trees and traffic lights, knocking out power for hundreds of thousands across the Midwest. The massive system bringing all kinds of extreme weather, from snow to severe storms. 25 News meteorologist Kimberly Gomez tracking the storm. A tornado reported outside Peoria, Illinois late today.
We can't express this enough to get into your safe spaces.
Overnight, traffic at a standstill outside Denver after multiple semis jackknife in the snow on Interstate 25. And in New Mexico, a gruesome pileup in blinding conditions on Interstate 40 between Albuquerque and Santa Rosa.
Hopefully everybody's okay.
Further west,
Dude, we just got hit by an avalanche.
Multiple cars buried by an avalanche on State Road 210 in Utah's Cottonwood Canyons from the same system that's now headed east.
David, here in Oklahoma, wind gusts are hitting up to 50 miles per hour. Firefighters that we've been speaking to for the last few days say they're going to be on high alert all throughout the night, knowing and taking into account those deadly and devastating wildfires that they've been fighting. David?
Yeah, we can see the winds and the storm clouds there behind you. Maria, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg of our station WAVC here in New York. He's tracking it all again tonight for us. Hi, Lee.
Hey, David. Severe weather right now in Chicago. Severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning just south of the city, just west of Gary, Indiana. If you're in line at the storm, please take cover and get to a place of safety. Tornado watches extend down through Indiana into Kentucky till late this evening. Part of a storm bringing blizzard warnings to the Midwest and the fire danger and the high winds to the plains. The storm moves eastward and the severe weather turns to snow tomorrow morning. It's snowing all the way up to Green Bay, but it'll be snowing into Chicago tomorrow morning. And then cold winds behind it. Heavy rain will move eastward, reach the I-95 corridor by tomorrow evening. Maybe a half an inch of snow and big winds behind that in the Northeast on Friday. David?
All right, Lee Goldberg with us. Lee, we appreciate it as always. To the other news tonight, into the standoff outside CIA headquarters. Police swarming the CIA today after authorities say a man approached the gate with a gun. SWAT teams rushing to the scene. The standoff lasting for hours. And here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
The dramatic standoff unfolding just after 9:30 a.m. when police say a man appears at the entrance gate to CIA headquarters wielding a handgun.
Male seen walking near the CIA building, pointing a firearm at his head and towards the building.
Nearby Langley High School put on lockdown as an army of police and CIA security, including SWAT and tactical teams, descend on the scene to confront the suspect, described as a middle-aged white male with wavy hair. Sources telling ABC News Fairfax County police and CIA officials negotiating with the man who they suspected was in a mental health crisis. But authorities taking no chances because that CIA entrance has a violent past. In 2021, a man was shot by authorities after he got out of his car with a gun. And in 1993, Mir Amal Khanzi used an assault-style rifle to fatally shoot 2 and wound 3 others near that gate before fleeing to Pakistan. Law enforcement's patience paying off. A suspect seen here taken into custody more than 5 hours after the standoff began. Devin, given the history of that CIA entrance, tonight law enforcement breathing a sigh of relief. Grateful no one was injured, David.
Not taking any chances. Pierre Thomas. Pierre, thank you. Now to President Trump's unexpected offer to Ukraine today. That offer coming during a nearly hour-long phone call with President Zelensky today. The first time they've spoken since that explosive Oval Office confrontation. And tonight, what Zelensky has now agreed to involving what could be a partial ceasefire with Russia. Our chief international correspondent, James Longman, is in the region for us tonight. James?
David, that call between Presidents Trump and Zelensky lasting nearly an hour, coming just one day after Donald Trump's call with Vladimir Putin. The Ukrainian leader agreeing to the same partial ceasefire deal as Putin, pledging to stop attacking energy infrastructure. But in a stunning development, Trump also offered to take ownership of Ukraine's electrical supply and nuclear power plants, saying America could offer the best protection. It could include Europe's largest nuclear plant at Zaporizhzhia, which Russia currently occupies. At least initially, Ukraine seems open to the idea. There'll be further talks this weekend. David?
James Longman in Poland tonight. James, thank you. Tonight, the Defense Department igniting a firestorm after pulling a webpage dedicated to baseball icon Jackie Robinson. Why was the page taken down? And what's happened now? Here's our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, tonight.
Tonight, the Pentagon sparking outrage after removing from its website a story celebrating the Army record of American icon Jackie Robinson, who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Robinson was drafted during World War II. The story on the website included a description of his refusal to move to the back of an Army bus, an act that got him court-martialed and later acquitted. This morning, Robinson's story no longer available. In its place, this error page, and in the address bar, an indication of why the page was taken down. Added to the URL, the letters DEI for diversity, equity, and inclusion, something Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has vowed to purge from the Pentagon.
You have to tear out DEI and CRT initiatives root and branch out of institutions.
Jackie Robinson's son David Robinson today saying he was surprised the Pentagon removed the tribute to his father, adding, "We take great pride in Jackie Robinson's service to our country as a soldier and a sports hero, an icon whose courage, talent, strength of character, and dedication contributed greatly to leveling the playing field, not only in professional sports, but throughout society." Robinson not the only hero whose story was removed as part of the Pentagon's DEI purge. Military websites also taking down tributes to the legendary Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military pilots, the fabled Navajo code talkers of World War II, and Ira Hayes, a Native American and one of the Marines who raised the flag at Iwo Jima. Those pages and others that were removed later ultimately reinstated amid an outcry. Today, a Pentagon spokesperson saying, Everyone at the Defense Department loves Jackie Robinson, as well as the Navajo Code Talkers, the Tuskegee Airmen, the Marines at Iwo Jima, and so many others. We salute them for their strong and in many cases heroic service to our country, full stop. We do not view or highlight them through the prism of immutable characteristics, such as race, ethnicity, or sex.
A senior military official tells us tonight that the Pentagon relies on computer software to scrub DEI content from its websites, and that ultimately those stories about Jackie Robinson and those other American icons were removed by mistake. That story about Jackie Robinson is back up on the website tonight, David.
Rachel Scott, live at the White House. Rachel, thanks. Now to the JFK assassination files released overnight, more than 60,000 pages. Our team pouring through them. The documents tonight shedding new light on surveillance during that era and on what some in the Kennedy administration felt about the CIA. Here's Terry Moran.
Tonight, more than 6 decades after President John F. Kennedy's assassination, more than 63,000 pages of unredacted files long held secret are now public. Historians, amateur sleuths, and online conspiracy theorists poring over the files all day today. That day in Dallas haunting the country for 62 years. But so far in these new documents, no new bombshells.
There really isn't that much new, at least in the part that we have examined so far. But we have learned quite a bit about the CIA.
Instead, new details and descriptions of tradecraft in the CIA at the time. Some of its operations in embassies around the world, from Mexico to France to Iran, and its surveillance previously revealed of Oswald, Kennedy's assassin. One of the files long sought by investigators, the Schlesinger memo, revealed that some of Kennedy's closest aides did not trust the CIA and were discussing reforms to it. Another file pulled back the curtain on some CIA operations. The organization was tapping Soviet and Cuban telephones at their diplomatic facilities in Mexico City, locations Lee Harvey Oswald visited in the months before the assassination. The documents shedding light on what some say are the agency's failures, including catching Oswald before the president was killed.
If they had done their jobs properly and shared information with one another, President Kennedy probably would have served 2 full terms as president.
This latest JFK document dump is the fulfillment of a promise by President Trump, who said that all the documents need to be released unredacted. And David, there are still 20,000 documents yet to come.
Terry Moran and the team, we thank you all for going through them. We turn now to the Menendez brothers tonight and this evening, what the new L.A. District Attorney says Lyle and Eric Menendez must do to secure any chance at freedom after being sentenced to life for murdering their parents. Tonight, Matt Gutman, one-on-one with the DA.
After rejecting a new trial or reduced sentence for the Menendez brothers, tonight LA's new DA Nathan Hochman doubling down.
Do you believe that they deserve to die in prison?
My personal belief is completely irrelevant.
In a new interview, Hochman drawing that line in the sand, saying he would reconsider resentencing only if the brothers admit to what he says are decades of lies.
If they sincerely and unequivocally admit for the first time in over 30 years the full range of their criminal activity and all the lies that they have told about it.
Like, do you want them to enumerate each individual lie? Do you have a checklist?
I actually do.
For years, the brothers have claimed they killed in self-defense following years of abuse at the hands of their father. Hochman stressing that sex abuse was never their defense.
You have said that the evidence that you have seen in the 50,000 pages of documents does not suggest that they were sexually abused by their parents and their father.
There was no additional corroboration of anyone in 12 years, whether it was another adult, a friend, a coach, a teacher, who reported on any recipient information that the sexual abuse occurred during those 12 years. But was there evidence presented at trial? Yes.
But the Menendez family says the brothers endured horrific abuse, have admitted guilt, and apologized. They accuse the DA of being hostile and patronizing.
You see their desire to see their family members released after 35 years.
I do.
You see their forgiveness and their understanding that the brothers have apologized and essentially come clean to them?
I do. I do absolutely see the sincerity of their belief that they want the Menendez brothers out, 100%.
At this point, David, the brothers' best hope for release rests with Governor Gavin Newsom, who has already fast-tracked a process that could lead to their clemency. The first parole board hearing is scheduled for June.
David.
Matt Gutman in Los Angeles tonight. Matt, thank you. To the Middle East tonight, and Israel launching a new offensive in Gaza with what it's calling focused ground operations. Its first troops back on the ground since the ceasefire with Hamas. So, of course, tonight, what now for the hostages, including an American still being held by Hamas? Matt Rivers is in Tel Aviv for us. Matt?
David, the Israelis calling this new offensive focus, but this is a major escalation in this conflict. The IDF sending ground troops deep into Gaza for the first time in months. Israel striking across Gaza, including this explosion in Gaza City. The Hamas-run health ministry saying hundreds killed, including a UN staffer today. And tonight, Israel's defense minister warning more evacuation orders are coming, saying if Palestinian civilians don't get rid of Hamas on their own, quote, the alternative is complete destruction. Hamas still holding 59 hostages, including one American still believed to be alive. Those families, David, very concerned tonight as these attacks ramp up.
Matt Rivers in Tel Aviv for us live. Matt, thank you. Back here in the U.S. tonight to the economy and the Federal Reserve leaving its key lending interest rate unchanged today, citing economic uncertainty and the tariffs, but still expecting 2 rate cuts this year. Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying President Trump's tariffs may delay bringing inflation down, but that he believes the impact will be short term, that the economy is strong overall. The markets were up on the news, the Dow gaining 383 points today to close at 41,964. When we come back here tonight, 24 hours after the splashdown you saw live here on ABC, astronauts Butch Wilmore, Sonny Williams now adjusting to gravity, what they went through just today, and so many fascinated by the dolphins welcoming them home, and you'll see it here. And there's also news coming in tonight involving that young reporter who had been sent to cover the Super Bowl, seen on hotel surveillance. What's now happened to the woman there, and what we've learned about the cause of death in a moment. Tonight to the case of the young reporter sent to cover the Super Bowl who was found dead. Police now charging a woman with his murder. Telemundo reporter Adon Manzano was found dead in his hotel room last month. Prosecutors say hotel surveillance showing him with Danette Colbert just hours earlier. The coroner revealing he died from a combination of Xanax, alcohol, and asphyxia. Authorities say she was previously accused of drugging victims and robbing them. When we come back here tonight, the astronauts back on Earth, and you'll see the dolphins who welcomed them home. And tonight, here are the images from Bruce Willis and his family celebrating a milestone tonight, and it's moving. To the index, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams and their first full day back on Earth. Wilmore receiving a big hug at Johnson Space Center in Houston, there for a checkup. Sonny Williams going through checkups too. And so many celebrating that pod of dolphins splashing around the capsule, an unexpected welcome home right after that splashdown. When we come back here tonight, touching new images of Bruce Willis tonight and a family celebration.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Voquezna Vonoprazan tablets.
Before we go tonight, amid his very personal battle, Bruce Willis is celebrating his 70th birthday today. His wife sharing a photo of him, giving 2 thumbs up. He retired from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia. His daughter Scout calling him the greatest of all time. Rumor Willis sharing a video of her dad and ex-wife Demi Moore dancing in the house. His daughter Tallulah calling him a light that can never be dimmed. Happy birthday, Bruce. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir America's most watched newscast.